Hello everyone. Today we'll be talking about gender expression. Last time we saw sex, gender, and sexuality and the differences between these three. So gender expression is kind of something that is linked with the other three. So coming to our topic at hand, um, gender expression is how someone expresses themselves through their mannerisms, appearance, dressing, interests, and whatsoever you would include into the categorization of expression of something. So, yes, from that itself, it is pretty much clear that it is a subjective thing, and gender expression is something that changes according to culture, as individuals, families, societies, time periods. So it is a very subjective and diverse thing. Um, Coming back to gender spectrum, you can make that whole thing into spectrum, that spectrum of gender expression. At the one end of it, you'll find femininity, and the other end, you'll find masculinity, and right in between, you'll find androgyny. So people kind of skirt and float around all these different categorizations, which is once again subjective and very subjective at that. Because one way of expression that you might consider feminine might not be feminine to somebody else. And the same goes for other forms of expression too. So, in conclusion, it is a social construct and a very subjective thing. Coming to other matters, for example, if a person born or assigned as female when born might not necessarily express themselves to be feminine or androgynous for that case. So from that itself, it is pretty clear that somebody's sex or biology might not be connected to their gender expression, might or might not be. And the same goes for gender. Somebody's gender or gender identity might or might not be connected to their gender expression. So these are mutually exclusive but at the same time inclusive. It depends on who you're talking about. So once again, it is another subjective element of the whole concept. So considering that, it also signifies that you must be careful not to assume somebody's identity or pronouns depending on their gender expression, like just from seeing their gender expression. So if you want to know the pronouns or not have to misgender someone, or at least think that it is better not to misgender and hurt someone, and also about their identity, simply ask them. If they are open, they'll be open to going about their pronouns or identities, whatever it is that they embrace. If not, they'll be like, probably if they don't know what you're talking about, or like just the so-called normal identities or pronouns. Either way, it's their choice. How to express themselves, what to call themselves, what to wear, what identities to embrace, it's all their choice. All of it. Nobody has a right to tell them to choose this one or that one, or act that way or this way. Be it parents, siblings, family, society, nobody. Of course, there is a possibility that commanding to act in a certain way might happen in settings like the military or so, but then that is out of a necessity to some extent, and that is okay. But then, otherwise, in daily life, it is wrong. As I told, the influence of culture when it comes to these topics is always, always, always significant. But then a lot of it has been fabricated too, and during that fabrication, a lot of which was has changed to become which is now. So not all of it might always be correct. To give reasons like religious or traditional for something that is wrong is once again wrong. That is like giving reason and making it into something good, as was done for a long time when it came to female genital mutilation. So it is pretty much similar cases, even though the consequences might not be that severe at one glance, because if we look deeper into it, gender expression is also something that is encompassed, something that comes under the whole freedom of expression category. And when it comes to freedom of expression, it is something, a right that is inherent to everyone. In that case, it is supposed to be protected anytime and everywhere. But in a lot of the parts of the world, freedom of expression, especially when it comes to gender expression, is not properly protected or understood. Because of that, a lot of people are unfairly punished or persecuted to the point of even being murdered. And murdering, I wouldn't say that it is okay, but then it would at least be better if a person can be murdered in one slash, other than going through pain over and over again in their last moments. But then, in some places, people are murdered for who they are through torture, stoning, and more. So all these things need to be mitigated, combated, whatever you would call it. All these things need to become a thing of the past. For a new world, we need a new reality. And that reality should reflect equity and equality. For that, we need to work together to create awareness and visibility through personal storytelling. It is a very powerful tool to use to bring our feelings out there. At the same time, let other people know that we are as human as you are. Simply human, with feelings and with love, with compassion. So for that, let's learn ourselves and help others to learn themselves to make this world a better place. So, hope all of today's concepts are clear. If you have any doubts, be sure to leave comments. I'll be looking into them personally, or maybe we'll be having a Q&A video in the future. I'm thinking about having one once I get a pretty decent amount of questions. So be sure to pour in your questions, put it in the comments, like the video and subscribe for more. And for those who haven't seen the video on sex, gender and sexuality, be sure to see that too, so that you have your basics clear. I'll be putting that in the description, so if you have missed that, you can look into it. So thank you for being with me up until now and listening to my rambling. See you guys next week.